Chair, we're a bit disturbed because in the examination in chief, the witness gave a lot of opinionated evidence, a lot of it, which is on record. So if we could see how now to sieve out what can be on record and what should be off record, because I'm trying to examine him on the very evidence he gave, because there are situations where he was asked even to interpret the actions of the Honorable Zaake, to interpret the feeling of the speaker. That was the speaker happy.
Did we allow that?
The question came up. How did the speaker treat this? Then he said, the speaker appeared to be offended. He's on record saying that.
Where do you get that? There was nobody, there is nowhere on our record when the witness used the word offended. It's not anywhere on our record. That is your word.
Since the witness is not ready to answer our questions and is being protected by the chair, we beg to stop there as far as this witness is concerned.
Okay. That witness is... Dear colleagues, is there anybody who has any other question? Okay. Mr. Cassidy, you are discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Varunji, you are most welcome to this committee.
Thank you, Honorable.
Colleagues, we are having the second witness today, Ms. Marina Varungi. Details, your particulars? Name and what you do in this parliament?
Thank you, Honorable. My name is Marina Barunji. I'm a senior clerk assistant, and I work as a clerk at table. My specific roles at table, I take resolutions of the House and minutes while at table.
Did you attend the sitting of 29th November 2022?
Yes, I did.
You did. I'm sure you know the subject why you are here. It was communicated to you. It is the alleged misconduct and behavior during the plenary of that day by the Honorable Francis Zaake. Can you tell us what you observed on that day regarding to this particular issue?
Thank you, Honorable. Yes, I was at table that day. After the House commenced, after about, could be 30 minutes into the sitting of the House, Honorable Zaake requested to be heard on a point of procedure, and he was granted. When he got up, he quoted the rules on which he had stood and began his submission. After quoting the rule, he submitted, requesting that the House resolves on a matter regarding the disappearances of some citizens whom he mentioned. And then he was interrupted by the Speaker, who told him to sit. He asked that he first continues to submit. The Speaker insisted that let him first sit so that the Speaker can guide him on the matter. He sat, and the Speaker guided and told him that that was a serious matter, which he should have consulted him before the sitting. And he told him to see him in his office after the sitting so that he gives him an opportunity at probably the next sitting to submit it. However, after that guidance from the Speaker, Honorable Zaake got up again and said he needed to submit it there and then. It was an urgent matter that could not wait. Still, the Speaker insisted that no, he should wait and be given another opportunity to submit it. The Honorable Zaake did not budge. He said no, he needed to submit the matter there and then. The Speaker again asked him to sit. He said he would not sit and said no, he had to submit the matter. He did not budge, and the Speaker was compelled to suspend the House. Yeah, and he suspended the House. He said he would suspend the House for 5 minutes, and he suspended the House so that there could be order in the House. That is what I observed.
Was there order in the House before he suspended?
There was a bit of shouting when Honorable Zaake said no, 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 he had to submit the matter. And in the process, the Speaker was also asking him to sit, and he was not accepting to sit. So there was no order at the time, and the Speaker was compelled to suspend the House so that the order is restored in the House before we could continue.
Ms. Marina, I just wanted clarification on a few things. One, that part where Honorable Zaake said no. How did he act that way? Did he hit on the table? Did he bang the table? Did he shout or act violently that time when he said no? Remember, he said no. He kept insisting, and he said no. So can you explain to us in detail? Did he bang the table during that time, or he just said no, no, no?
He said no. He shouted no 3 times. And when the Speaker insisted, and even at that point he asked the leader of the opposition, it was the Chief Opposition Whip standing in for the leader of opposition, Honorable Nambeshe. He asked the LOP to calm him down, but he remained standing and kept saying no, no, no.
Marina Barunji, I just want to find out, how long have you been working as the clerk at the table?
I've been a clerk assistant for about 6 years, but specifically as a clerk at table, it has been 2 years now.
So for the period you have worked at the table, I'm sure you have witnessed a number of proceedings in the House and the ruling that the Speaker has usually made. On this particular category resulting with Honorable Zaake and the experience you've had in Parliament, would you categorically state that he was out of order?
Our rules of procedure specify the actions that qualify for a member to be out of order. And one of them is that if you don't listen to the Speaker while he's presiding, if he asks you to sit and you don't sit, he asks you to stop speaking and you don't respect the Speaker's ruling, I think you're out of order.
And just lastly, the bit of commotion that you say was in the House, would you say it was as a result of the Speaker's ruling, or it was as a result of Honorable Zaake refusing to sit? What was your observation on that? What do you think was there?
I didn't get you clearly on that question. Could you please repeat?
The question I asked was, you stated there was a bit of confusion in the House, commotion. So in your own personal view, do you think the commotion was as a result of the Speaker's judgment, or it was as a result of
I think we
Zaake's-
should avoid the question, do you think?
on personal?
Just one second. These witnesses are coming here as witnesses of fact, to see what exactly happened. This thing of do you think, we should avoid that as much as possible.
Thank you for the guidance. So did you see that the commotion that resulted was as a result of the Speaker's guidance, or it was as a result of Honorable Zaake refusing to take his seat?
What I observed is that when Honorable Zaake did not sit down when he was told to sit down, the Speaker suspended the House to create order in the House.
Your primary work is to record the proceedings there.
To take down the resolutions of the House, the full recordings, we have a department of official report that does both the audio and video recording.
And amongst the resolutions you record, you include the rulings of the Speaker.
Yes, I do.
And you are in possession of the necessary gadgets, like a laptop and all that you require to make recordings.
Not a recording. I note down on my laptop, and then I note down the resolutions, which I disseminate to the Office of the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk.
You note it down on your laptop.
I type on the laptop.
You type, so it's just your notice. It's not a record of Parliament.
It's not a verbatim record of Parliament.
No, the record you put down as far as resolutions are concerned and the rulings, is that part of the record of the House?
Yes, it is, because I type what I've had, and then I produce the highlights of the sitting.
And you have that record in your custody?
I disseminate the highlights on the official Parliament mail to all members of Parliament and staff. I send an email of the highlights of the House.
What I'm saying, the record you made on that day of the 29th of November, was it stored anywhere? Was it kept in as part of the record somewhere?
Yes, it was.
Can we have access to the same? You have it?
I have the minutes of the House, but I'm not in position to hand it over to you here. You will need to request the Clerk to Parliament, who is the custodian of the records.
Chair, I would like to have a look at that record and continue with the cross-examination. It's important.
How long does that take?
I can go down to the Office of the Clerk and request for the minutes.
Meeting suspended for 10 minutes for you to do that.
If she can read out resolution number 1, then I follow it with the questions, Chair.
Please read.
The resolution regarding the matter, the Speaker, 1, cautioned outbursts that would create an impasse in the House over issues that could be resolved amicably. 2, informed the House that the Right Honourable Speaker had been furnished with a list of names of people whose whereabouts were unknown, and a meeting would be convened with the relevant authorities to resolve the matter. And 3, pursuant to Rule 175A and B of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, referred Honourable Zaake Francis to the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline.
So from the record you prepared yourself, which you signed it together with the Speaker of the day, the contentious issue was about outbursts. Can you confirm that? It was about members making outbursts.
The speaker cautioned members against outbursts in the House.
Can you substantiate that, elaborate on that?
Following Honorable Zaake shouting, saying no, 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 he needed to continue to submit. And following that, the Speaker suspended the House, and upon return, he made this ruling and cautioned members against such outbursts that created an impasse in the House over issues that could be resolved amicably.
Also, the Speaker's ruling was about members making outbursts, generally.
He referred to the matter of Honorable Zaake, but the caution was to all members against such behavior in the House.
Did you record anything about the conduct of the Honorable Zaake specifically?
What I recorded about his conduct is in the earlier statement where I mentioned that he rose on a procedural matter and what he submitted.
Did he in any way act in a violent manner?
He shouted and said, no, no, no. And I cannot tell whether that is violent or not.
The record you made, did the Speaker make any ruling about order in the House as far as the conduct of the Honorable Zaake was concerned?
In the Hansard, it is...
No, from your record. Any ruling?
My record was just the resolution of the Speaker. The details were recorded by the Hansard.
I was asking about your record. Did you record any ruling of the Speaker regarding the conduct of the Honorable Zaake?
The ruling he made with regard to Honorable Zaake was to refer him to the Rules Committee, which rule specifies that if a member is out of order, the matter has to be referred to the Rules Committee. That was his basis for that ruling.
Do you know the reason why he was referred to this committee by the Speaker? You know, you don't know.
The rule says that if a member is out of order, he is referred to the Rules Committee. In this case, the Speaker, in his discretion, saw that the matter deserved to be sent to the Rules Committee and could not be resolved on the floor of the House.
Was he in any way asked to withdraw from the chambers? Was he suspended?
The House was suspended.
No, was the Honorable Zaake suspended?
No.
Was he cited by the Speaker and ordered to get out of the chambers?
No.
The word is not cited, it's naming.
Was he named?
No.
And the conduct you are talking about, was it only that act of shouting? No, 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 no.
That is what I observed.
Earlier on, you had said most of the time you are buried in your laptop.
That is my...
How did you manage to see this?
While I'm typing, I look up. Momentarily, I may look up. I type and also look up, and I'm trained in typing. I can type even without looking at the keyboard at times.
So can you be on record that there are certain scenes that skipped your eyesight as you are buried in your laptop?
Yes.
And because you are buried in your laptop, you did not see any action or gesticulation from the Honorable Zaake?
I had.
You had. Can you hear gestures?
I heard him saying what he said.
I'm talking about.
No.
So you didn't see any gesture from him?
No.
And when the house was suspended, did it resume?
Yes, it resumed.
Was the Honorable Zaake in chambers when it resumed?
He came in shortly after resumption.
After resumption. So by the time the ruling was made to refer him to the committee, he was in the house. Yes or no?
I don't remember that part, whether he was in the house or not, but I looked up from my laptop and saw him come back in the house. But at the time of the ruling, I had to make sure I record what the speaker was saying.
Yeah, in any way participate in the proceedings after the resumption of the house?
No.
So when he returned momentarily, what did he do exactly that you remember?
He sat in
Quietly.
the house, quietly.
And he was very calm.
I cannot determine the calmness of a person when he's just
Okay,
sitting.
he was displeased. He did not cause disorder at all.
He was sitting.
Did he cause any disorder?
But she has answered.
He did not speak. He was
Let's not
simply
go far.
sitting.
Honorable
I would
Zaake
like to
came,
stop
he
there.
was seated. Yeah. He was seated and calm. That's what the record was just said. So, do you have any other question for this witness? Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Varungi. Oh.
Thank you. Just a brief one. Ms. Speaker, were you seated? Because you're usually two, so I just want to find out which side were you seated on the day, please.
But both of them sit on the same side of the speaker.
No, either on the left or the right side of the speaker.
Oh, okay.
I sit on the speaker's left.
On the speaker's left.
The lead clerk sits on the right.
So you were on the speaker's left. So you are nearer to what we would say where the opposition bench is, if you say left.
Yes.
Right. At any one point during the commotion, did you hear anyone rise up to put Honorable Zaake on order on a number of people who you saw standing? Did you hear anyone say order?
No, not to Honorable Zaake, but there was a point of order.
Raised by?
Raised by Honorable Oshabe Patrick.
In regards to?
It followed the lead of opposition, the acting lead of opposition, Honorable Nambesha, submission.
Thank you. That's all, Chair.
We only have two witnesses remaining. Honorable Zaake. Honorable Zaake? We have only two witnesses remaining. Let's capture all of them. I don't think they will be long. And we capture all of them and we close with this group today. So that means if I seek your indulgence, it's already one. Let us see if we can finish them in an hour's time. Ms. Sheila Atim, can you tell us your particulars, please?
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Atim Edin Sheila. I'm the Deputy Sergeant at Arms here in Parliament. Thank you.
How long have you been Deputy Sergeant at Arms?
I've been Deputy Sergeant at Arms for the last 4 years.
That's 4 years.
Yes.
Okay. Were you in the House on the 29th of November, 2022?
Yes.
This matter was referred to us by the House to make an inquiry into the allegations of alleged misconduct and alleged misbehavior against the Honorable Francis Zaake during what happened during the plenary sitting of that day. Are you aware about it? About the sitting and delegations?
True.
True. What do you know about delegations?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would elaborate what transpired in the House. On that day, during the communication from the chair, when Honorable Zaake stood up on the matter of procedure, the Speaker gave him a chance to speak. So when he went into details to explain issues to do with the abduction of some of the members of their party, at that particular point, the Speaker intervened and told him that the matter of procedure he has rose on was not in consonant with what he had stood to talk about, and the Speaker requested him to resume his seat, and he guides him. The honorable member remained standing and insisted that it was a matter of procedure and he needed to elaborate on it. And then he went on to shout on top of his voice. And then the Speaker, realizing that the matter was getting out of hand, suspended the House for 5 minutes, as he mentioned. And then from there, I went through the side door. I led the Speaker to the VIP room. After the suspension period, the House resumed. When the House resumed, several members stood up on different reasons, but the Speaker begged them to sit down. When they did not heed to that, he emphasized his voice, and then eventually they sat. The leader of opposition, acting then, Honorable Nambeshe, was asked, he reported what had transpired in the brief suspension time. And then he was interjected by another member who asked to put him to order. After that, the Speaker, after several other members had spoken, the Speaker then ordered Honorable Zaake to be referred to the disciplinary committee, or to the Rules Committee for disciplinary. That's what I had, and I think that marks the end of what I can talk about the issue. Thank you.
Can you play that tape again?
Questions, you said the conduct of the Honorable Zaake, according to you, was disrespectful of the Speaker. Is that your opinion, or it is the Speaker who complained?
It's my observation.
Okay. Did the Speaker complain about any conduct of the, about being disrespected?
All members in the House are supposed to heed to the Speaker's guidance and direction. The moment the member disobeys it, that implies they are being disrespectful.
But the question is, did the Speaker complain? I think that is his question.
Yes.
Oh. How did he complain? Can we get it exactly how he complained about the disrespect?
He said, Honorable Zaake, you've been away from the House for a while. You asked me to give you an opportunity to give you. I'm asking you to sit down such that I guide you, but you're not heeding to my advice. That is what I can state.
So according to you, the matter for investigation before this committee is about the disrespect with which the Honorable Zaake treated the Speaker.
True.
Okay. Now, you as Sergeant at Arms, you said part of your terms of reference is to deal with the order in the House. Does it also entail dealing with the people who are disorderly?
The rules provides for the Speaker to direct the Sergeant at Arms in case there's disorder in the House to take specific actions.
Let me ask you directly. Did you in any way handle Zaake, the Honorable?
No.
Was there disorder in the House?
Yes.
Was the disorder handled?
Yes.
How was it handled?
By referring it to the committee.
Oh, so when the Honorable Zaake was referred to the committee, calm was restored in the House.
True.
And the Honorable Zaake, on that note, did not in any way exhibit any disorderly conduct.
No.
Good. Seated. And where the Honorable Zaake was standing. Can you estimate the distance?
You are not on record.
It's about 4 meters.
About 4 meters. And you did not in any way step forward towards where Honorable Zaake was standing.
The time I stepped forward is when I reinforced my colleague who was standing by the mess. Thank you.
So your attention was on the mess.
True.
Were you directed to take charge of the mess?
That is my responsibility. I didn't need to be directed. Thank you.
So it was, the mess, for you in your own judgment, the mess was under threat?
True.
Oh. Who is threatening the mess? Who was threatening it?
Around the situation in the House, a mess is always targeted, even if there's no specific person who was threatening it. Thank you.
No, it's good you have answered. A rowdy situation. There was a rowdy situation.
True.
Many members were rowdy.
Resulting from Honorable Zaake's action.
Or across the aisle, the political divide on the House.
No.
Oh, the rowdy situation was on which side of the House?
It was on the opposition side of the House, more so specifically to members who were seated at the front bench on the opposite side.
Okay, how many were involved in that rowdy situation? How many members?
There were several members at different times.
Do you recall any?
True.
Yes?
There was Honorable Gilbert Olanya.
Olanya.
There was Honorable Nyeko standing nearby. Those are the ones who were closest to
the Honorable Nyeko was closest to?
They are closest to the table.
Honorable Olanya and Nyeko. To the table, what do you mean? Where the Honorable
To the dispatch table, yes.
So actually, if you may bring the picture here to us, to the committee, Honorable Olanya and Nyeko were standing close to the Honorable Zaake.
They were standing near Honorable Zaake.
Near? Close?
Near.
I don't want to comment because you say I am being unfair to you. But let's proceed.
So, they were closer to Honorable Zaake than where you are seated?
True.
Okay. Do you know the reason why you were not called to action to deal with that rowdy situation as the Sergeant at Arms, to restore order?
That is the responsibility of the Speaker, so I cannot answer on his behalf. Thank you.
You don't know the reason? But
you
see,
the record will not capture this.
I had already said no, unless I have to repeat no.
You asked the question and
no.
I don't know how he has written it. How did you write this?
She said no, like I heard no. That's what I had. Maybe she should go on record.
She isn't, and I'm
Oh,
trying to have the
Mr.
record,
Brady, the
what?
chair.
The
Mr.
record
Brady,
is
the
straight
chair.
and clear.
So you don't know the reason why you are not called to action?
No.
Until you are called to action, you don't move.
By the procedures of the House, I have to be called to action.
But earlier on you said it's your duty to guard the mess. And this time you swung into action without being prompted by the speaker.
Those are two different things.
Oh, there are moments where you swing into action
True.
unprompted.
True.
Like guarding the
mess.
The mess, which one else?
That is one of the main ones.
Oh. Do you have any other situation, do you know, I mean, is there any other situation where you can swing into action without any signal or directive?
True.
Like?
If something has dropped and it requires me to have it moved, I have to move there and pick it, not being told by anyone. Thank you.
Okay. As a person who handles order in the house, the situation was under control by the speaker. It needed no intervention of the Sergeant at Arms. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. No any other questions?
Okay.
Honorable, I'm called Owen Bosco.
Owen John Bosco.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Colleague, there is a witness who has come. It's called the Owen John Bosco. Can you tell us more about yourself, what your particulars?
Honorable,
Don't tell us your tribe.
I'm called Owen Bosco, attached to the Department of Sergeant at Arms.
Can you speak like somebody from Sergeant at Arms office?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm attached to the Department of Sergeant at Arms, and I'm a doorkeeper.
You're a doorkeeper?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been how long have you been doorkeeping?
I've been in that department and working as a doorkeeper for 9 years.
Been a doorkeeper for 9 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you on duty on the 29th of November 2022?
Yes, sir.
You are aware this committee is inquiring into some allegations of misconduct and misbehavior against the Honorable Francis Zaake during the plenary sitting of the 29th November 2022. What do you know about it?
Yeah, I got the information about this inquiry from my supervisor.
We are more interested in what took place there.
Yeah, on the 29th November 2022, I was on duty in the house, and the house started at 2 p.m. So it started with the prayers, communication from the chair. When the presiding officer communicated, he gave chances to some members of parliament to react on his communication. And it was from 2:45 to 3 when some few members started reacting to his communication, and he gave a chance to Honorable Zaake to speak. So when he gave the chance to Honorable Zaake, Honorable Zaake started talking about the disappearance of some members who belongs to opposition, Then the speaker tried to stop him for some guidance, but he insisted talking. The speaker told him that now you first sit down and I guide you because I'm the presiding officer and you'll talk. But he didn't listen to the speaker. He was on the microphone talking, mentioning that these people who have been abducted should be released, and the speaker was telling him to sit down and he guides him, but he kept on talking at the top of his voice. And me, being in the house as the doorkeeper and somebody from the Department of Sergeant at Arms, our work it is partly security. Our work in the house, it is to ensure that there is security, there is peace in the house. And we also help members of parliament in passing over some documents to ease their communication, because a member from ruling party can't cross the floor the other side. But that is our work, is to help them in easing their communication. When Honorable Zaake insisted and he could not sit down, the speaker suspended the house for 5 minutes and he went to the VIP room. And some members followed him there. And those who followed him includes Honorable Segona and others. Then my supervisor who was in the house, called Atim Sheila, instructed me to be near the mess, because that is our work, is to protect that mess. Nobody should run away with it. So I was assigned to protect the mess. And you know, the mess is near those 2 microphones for the opposition and the ruling party. And I was standing there, observing all what was happening.
Is that a position you ordinarily stand when there is a normal parliamentary session?
No.
So why did you, this particular time, stand near the mess?
Yeah, because we were now expecting some violence, since a member was not really behaving the way he has been behaving. So we were expecting some violence. That is why I was there, standby, to protect the mess. But that is not my position in the house. After the 5 minutes, in fact it was more than 5 minutes, the suspension, after those minutes, Honorable Segona came in, and we were now expecting the speaker also. Honorable Segona came in, he talked with Honorable Zaake, and they went out. So after 1 minute, the speaker came in, the house resumed, and I saw Honorable Zaake also now coming back. When he came back, he sat on the front bench near leader of opposition, and that day it was the Honorable Nambesh. And when he sat there, he didn't utter anything. He just sat there quietly, and that is when the speaker referred him to rules, to committee of rules. That is all what I know, and that is what I have seen that very day.
Let's play the tape.
You got the door from inside or outside?
Yeah, being the doorkeeper, you don't guard the door. You monitor what is entering in and what is going out from inside.
Where are you positioned? Do you monitor from inside or from outside? From the lobby?
From inside.
From inside.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now I would like to know when you are monitoring the door. Is your attention and mind on the door or on the proceedings of Parliament?
My intention in the house.
Didn't ask about intention.
The mind and attention, is it on the door?
Mind and attention.
Is it on the door or on the proceedings?
I told you earlier that my work in the house, it is security and helping members in communication, passing the documents. So when you are in the house, you have to monitor the doors, and you also put your mind in what is happening in the house.
Oh, you follow the debate. Do you follow the debate in the house?
The question is, do you follow the debate in the House? No.
The debate.
The council is asking for debate.
Debate. Do you follow the debate?
I told you, when you are in the house,
Answer the question. Answer the question.
I follow what is happening in the house.
Including the debate, the submissions of the members.
I also pick what they are discussing.
What they are discussing.
Yes.
Okay. You pick what they are discussing. On that day, you said the Honorable Zaake had risen on a point of procedure. Was the matter resolved?
I think it was the presiding officer who found that it was not necessary at that very moment.
Was it resolved or not? The matter he raised of the abduction of the people, was it resolved in the house or not?
He guided him that that matter should come another day, not that very day.
Do you know how it ended on that day?
That very day, on the 29th November, Tuesday, due to a member insisting that that matter should be brought on the table, yeah, the speaker suspended the house, and when he came back, he found that a member should be referred to rules, to committee of rules.
At the time of suspension of the house, at the time of suspension of the house, where are you seated? Were you at your workstation? That is the door.
Yeah, at the time of suspending the house, I was in the house.
You have your workstation.
That is the house.
The specific location. I presume when your supervisor, Shira, comes in, there are specific assignments. Take positions. Go guard the door, guard this, do this. You take positions. At the time of suspension of the house, where exactly were you seated or standing?
When they were suspending the house, for us in the house, we don't sit in a specific place for the whole day. We move. So when the speaker was suspending the house,
yes,
I was behind the speaker.
Oh, you were behind the speaker?
Yes, I was seated behind the speaker.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And at that moment, you ordinarily guard.
I told you that for us, we monitor the door. We don't guard the door. We monitor what is going out and what is coming in.
Doorkeeper. May I understand the phrase doorkeeper? Isn't your job description doorkeeping?
Honorable, in Commonwealth Parliament, Department of Sergeant at Arms, it is the official security of Commonwealth Parliament. So when I'm called the doorkeeper, it doesn't mean that I sit at the door from morning up to evening. So I do some security work.
So how many doorkeepers are there in the house at any given sitting?
Okay, they deploy us 2 people. Yeah, 2 people. We were 2.
There were 2. So for the last 9 years, you have been a doorkeeper?
Yes, sir.
With no promotion?
Yes, sir.
And you have executed this work diligently?
Yes, sir.
Now, as a doorkeeper who is supposed to monitor the door and whatnot, you are seated behind the speaker. You are envisaging a situation here violence is about to erupt, as you said. You are expecting violence.
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
So when that the situation was not normal, I started moving towards the speaker because that is my cardinal role, to protect the presiding officer.
Wonderful.
When it was too much for the presiding officer to call the situation, he suspended the house. And that is when I now moved to my supervisor, who instructed me to take care of the mess.
Oh, so you moved to protect the speaker without being prompted or signaled by your superior, the sergeant at arms?
Yes, sir, because it was not necessary for her to signal to me to protect the speaker. It is my role. I know that in case when such things happen.
So like you have doorkeepers who monitor the doors. Is there no security person who monitors the security of the speaker?
We are the security.
I don't answer that question. The security of the speaker is not going to be discussed publicly. Let us go to the relevant part of it. I don't want to compromise the security of the Speaker of Parliament.
So at what stage did you establish that violence was about to ensue?
It was when the speaker pleaded with the Honorable Zaake to leave the matter and to bring it another day. And when the Honorable Zaake insisted that it cannot happen, this thing has been happening for long and he is not going to give up. That is when I realized that anything can happen.
Did he in any way threaten the speaker?
No.
And was he in any way violent?
The way he was reacting.
Was he violent?
No.
Did violence ensue anyway from any other member? Did it erupt in the house? Because you said you expected violence to erupt any time. Did it erupt finally?
Yeah, when he insisted on the microphone, some members joined him.
They became violent.
They became many.
They became violent.
They became many at the table, and I suspected that now anything can happen.
No, I'm asking, did the members become violent?
I've answered you. I've answered you.
My question originally was about the Honorable Zaake, and you said he wasn't violent. Yes. How about other members who came in? You said there are many. Were they violent in their conduct?
Yes, they were violent.
Oh. So who in particular do you remember? You said you monitored debates. You must be knowing all of them. You monitor proceedings for the last 9 years. You have been there watching the doors. You know who moves in, who moves out. So who was violent?
Yeah, those who joined him were a bit violent. One was Honorable Nyeko.
Nyeko.
2, Honorable Olanya.
Olanya.
Then 3, Honorable Kabuye.
Ka?
I don't know how to mention, but he's called Kabuye.
Kabuye.
Yes.
Kabuye. Oh, Kabuye, wonderful.
Yeah, those are the people who came,
In a very violent manner.
and they were even grabbing the microphone. They were grabbing the microphone.
So these
From
three
the
were
table.
grabbing the microphone from the table.
Yes.
All the three cannot grab it. You must have been quite observant. The security personnel, who of the three
All
attempted
their hands were on the microphone.
at a go?
At a go.
Did they all grab it?
They were all grabbing the microphone, including Honorable Zaake.
So they held it, the three of them.
All the three,
Held the
including,
microphone.
including Honorable Zaake.
Okay. So, do you know Honorable Nambeshi?
Yes, sir.
Did he also join? Did he also join?
Oh, no, Honorable Lukwago. There is no, they call the Honorable Nambesha.
Nambeshi.
Yes.
You know the Honorable Nambeshi.
I know.
Did he join the Mary? What you call the violence? Did he join it?
When the speaker suspended the House,
No.
Honorable Nambeshe, Honorable Segona, and other
No, we are
members-
talking
Why don't you answer the question?
We are talking
No.
about events that happened before the suspension of the House.
Okay.
Yes. I will not in any way take you to those
He was
events.
not. He was not among those ones.
He was not amongst them.
Yeah. I mean, grabbing the microphone.
Do you know what he did? Any role he played there?
Yes, sir.
Which role?
When the speaker requested
No,
him,
did he restrain these three anyway?
he tried, but he could
The three
not.
were very aggressive.
Yes, sir.
Nyeko, Olanya, Kabuye, very aggressive. They overpowered him naturally. They overpowered him.
Not overpowering him because he was not fighting them.
Mm.
They refused to listen to him.
They refused to listen to him.
Yes, sir.
And on that note, the speaker suspended the House. After they refused to listen to him. Naturally.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how about Honorable Segona?
Segona was not involved.
Huh?
Was not involved.
Segona was not at all. At all.
No, he was not involved in grabbing the microphone.
Or in grabbing the microphone. How about in restraining those three who were grabbing the microphone?
Segona now came in when the House was about to resume. He came before the speaker.
No, I'm asking,
Yeah.
at that moment, when the Honorable Nambeshi was restraining the three from grabbing the microphone, did the Honorable Segona join him in doing that?
No.
No. So, finally, when the House resumed, I'm sure the Honorable Zaake was in the House, not so?
When the House
Yes,
resumed,
yes.
Honorable Segona,
No, Honorable Zaake.
um,
Was he? I'm sure he was in the House. My question, was he in the House?
no.
No. So you don't remember seeing him after the House resumed? You didn't see him at all?
When the speaker was on his way to the House,
Just answer the question. You said when the House resumed, Honorable Zaake was not in the
Was not in the House.
Was in the House. Your question. After the House had resumed, do you
came back.
He came back into the House,
Yes, sir.
into plenary.
Yes, sir.
But you have just said he didn't come back.
No.
He did say that. He did say
No.
that.
Okay.
He came back.
He came back and he participated in the proceedings.
He came back and he sat near Lop, who was in Honorable Nambeshe.
Did he participate in the proceedings?
He didn't participate in the proceeding. He just kept quiet.
He didn't even stand up at all.
Not even standing up.
A very disciplined member at that moment.
How does that become?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to stop there. Keeping issues and management of this matter, we had earlier on indicated that their witnesses would require to be summoned. We would like to be on record on this, Chair, if you so wish, permit.
Yeah, and we are going to discuss that one, whether we need any more witness. We are asked you whether you would want you submit their names and give us the reason why you want them to come, and then we shall take a decision.
This is the reason. This is the list, Chair, we have now.
Sorry?
The list, we have it here.
Okay, go ahead.
Chair, we have the following members would like to be called. They are those whose names have featured prominently in these proceedings. The Honorable Nambeshe and the Honorable Segona. Those ones even appeared in the police report, the report of the analysts, and even in their answer, they are on record, where, Chair, the witnesses have testified that actually they are on record regretting what had transpired. That's a very serious matter. We want to hear exactly what is it they were regretting about from the testimony. Indeed, if it is true that actually they registered the regrets and that their reasons that were advanced, that has not come out clearly, Chair. Then, Chair, also we have had another set of the honorable members who are alleged to have been violent. The Honorable Oranya Gilbert, Honorable Nyeko, and Honorable Kabuye Frank. Those three, you have just heard here that they were aggressive.
Yeah, but we are not investigating violence.
No, Chair, if I may, Chair, you indicated this is an inquiry.
Yes.
And with an inquiry, you cast the net wide. It's not an investigation about the Honorable Zaake. It's not an that's what we understood.
Okay, we shall make a ruling.
Yes.
Just make your
that's
case,
not,
we'll make a ruling. Let the record capture on council's submission.
Yeah, that is the other category. Then we also have the Honorable Oshabe Nsamba Patrick, whose name was also featured quite prominently in the proceedings here.
It featured like it did what?
From the witnesses who have testified here.
Yes, it's not anybody who has been mentioned will be brought here. We want to see has been mentioned in what respect, and if that respect is relevant to what we are investigating, then we can call that witness.
Not everybody, like we are leaving out on Nandutu, the Honorable
the decision will be ours.
For us, we are not interested in
you just mentioned
finally,
and the reason why you think that witness, just a minute, and why you think that witness is relevant to what we are discussing, because that we want to have it clear. We're not just going to invite everybody because somehow he has appeared on the record.
Not somehow, Chair. I've clearly stated what they are saying the role this played. For the Honorable Nambeshe and Honorable Segona, I've said it's in black and white what they alleged that they did.
We shall examine
the Honorable Ranya, Gilbert, Honorable Nyeko, that who moved close to the Honorable Zaake, and also the attempt to grab the microphone, Mary ensued and eventually House suspended. Then the Honorable Nsamba Patrick, who is also said to have participated in calming down the Honorable Zaake. And finally,
I don't remember that.
came out.
No.
From the sergeant at arms.
No, no. Honorable Samba, he raised from the record, he raised actually an order, a point of order against Honorable Nambesh.
Anyway, finally, Chair, the Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker, or Deputy Speaker, the Right Honorable Taibwa Thomas, because we have persistently said, the Chair, that the acts, the impande acts, ought to be particularized for the Honorable Zaake to get to understand the nature of the accusation, if any.
We are saying we are...
Again.
You want us to go back whether this is an inquiry or impugned act, it is a trial. You want us to go to that point again?
No, Chair, from the record and the statements here, all the documents indicate allegations of misconduct and misbehavior, which have not been particularized. Right now, the Honorable Chair, we really need to understand exactly the matter that was referred for investigation. Specifically, why the Honorable Zaake was referred here. What is it that he did exactly? The particular act complained of is not clear to us. Is it being told to resume his seat and he does not stop? Was he violent?
All the evidence we have now determines what that is. And because we've been investigating it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've made your point.
So I wanted to conclude it, Chair.
Please do conclude.
You see, the committee was not sent on a fishing expedition on anything that can be brought against the Honorable Zaake. There must be something specific that this is what you are alleged to have committed, which offends the rules. And finally, Chair, if indeed that is the case, then we get to know the rule that was offended by the Honorable Zaake. The particular rule within our rules of procedure. That would be so fundamental.
Okay.